What's up everyone, Bluezerker here, and today we are doing a tier list of the Stage 2 Pokemon that can be paired with Rare Candy. Now if you don't know, Rare Candy is a new card that was released in the Celestial Guardian set, and it allows us to bypass Stage 1 Pokemon and go straight to the Stage 2 Pokemon. There's a bevy of powerful combos that can be used with this card, and it's really helped push the game into a positive direction. There's a lot of fun new deck building you can do, there's a lot of Pokemon variety, and there are just so many fun things that this card allows you to do. Look at cards like Staraptor and the like, but not everything uses this the exact same way, and that's what this tier list is for. It's going to show us which Pokemon are, really abusing the fact that they now have Rare Candy, and which ones are maybe not as lucky. Now, if you're one of those people that just skips to the end, go ahead. I can't really do much if you want to do that, but if you want to stay, listen to some good card discussion. I'm also witty and funny sometimes, so take that as you will. But regardless, let's go ahead and go over the tier list. So, we are doing a couple of different things here. Basically, we want to divide the tiers up into sections and show off why certain cards may be better than others. So, our tier lists are going to be S tier. That is our Twix. Oh my goodness, Twix are so good. One of the best candies ever invented. The caramel, the chocolate, everything about it is just delicious. But these are going to be our meta-defining Pokemon, the ones that are really taking Rare Candy and saying, hey, I'm the problem. We have our A tier. These Pokemon are also really good with Rare Candy, but aren't as meta-defining. Sometimes it's a little more conditional. Think like having to go second or needing something else to pair with them in order to be really powerful. So they're still really good with Rare Candy, but they're not as good. B tiers for Pokemon that are good but aren't going to be game determinative. It feels really good to use them, and sometimes they're even better than that A tier, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but they are not always going to be game winning when they do come online. So that's why we just have them as the Butterfingers. Now Whoppers, I loved Whoppers as a kid. Man, they were so good, but I think there's a certain point in everyone's life where they outgrow Malt Balls. That's going to be our C tier. These are Pokemon that don't mind the consistency boost. There's not a single Pokemon that says like, hey, yeah, I don't want to be more consistently available, but that's where our D tier comes in. These Pokemon are Pokemon that just take so long to get online that the consistency boost isn't really helpful, and there's maybe even better cards that you could use as opposed to having Rare Candy. This is like that really bottom tier, like, man, Rare Candy did nothing with them. But regardless, let's go ahead and start talking about the Stage 2 Pokemon. Leading off our tier list is my favorite starter from Generation 1, old Venusaur here, and oh my gosh, it is a sugar-free Pokemon through and through. This is the problem with Rare Candy with certain Pokemon. Requiring 4 energy to do anything, it takes so much time to build that energy up, it does not matter that you are getting to it faster because it sits there. Now, disclaimer, every Pokemon does benefit from a consistency boost, and being able to evolve to have access to Lily earlier could also be game determinative sometimes, but man, oh man, it just takes so long for my boy to get online. But that's followed up with Beedrill, a very solid Pokemon. This isn't going to win the game on the spot, but being able to attack turn 3 or 4, depending on when you start, makes it very powerful. It's almost an A tier Pokemon. The problem with Beedrill is it's probably not going to win you the game unless you just get a quick and easy snipe, so that's why it's here in that Butterfinger tier. We have Venusaur EX, my goodness, the exact same problem as Venusaur. I mean, having a 3 energy attack is pretty decent. It's definitely better than base Venusaur, but man, it is one of the worst, and they really did my boy dirty. Now we have Butterfree. This is a C tier Pokemon, does not win when you get it online, but being able to get its healing effect sooner is nice, even though they made Wigglytuff and basically said, hey, Butterfree, not the case. We've got Vileplume, another one of those Pokemon that does not benefit very much from the fact that it gets there sooner. Being down in energy is not going to make it. Being up a turn does not make Vileplume viable. Now, Victory Bell is a little bit different. This Pokemon is definitely okay. When you're going second on turn 4, you can pull something in like a Cosmog and knock it out, so that is a little bit more helpful. It does allow you to start manipulating the opponents, so while you're not going to go crazy with it, you are not going to be upset that you can start moving everything around. We've got Charizard. This guy is also down here. He's a little higher than everything else because he can benefit from Moltres. I had a Pocket Roulette on Charizard that was pretty decent. Same thing with the Charizard EX. It's a little better than Charizard. Having more consistency for it in particular is nice, at least the Crimson Storm one. But yeah, so Blastoise here, it's a C tier Pokemon. It is pretty decent in that you can pair it with Misty, so that is going to be one of those things that can be really good with the consistency if you hit the Misty. That's like that conditional. We also have Blastoise EX, same situation. Having access to Lily earlier is nice, but yeah, we've got Poliwrath. Poliwrath's counter attack is going to let it sit there. You can always pair it with Misty, which is nice, and it being there in the front makes it okay as a Pokemon, but it just doesn't do a whole lot. And this is kind of the trend that we'll see with these Pokemon that don't really benefit from it except from the consistency. These powerful abilities and having access to them sooner is nice, but depending on the scale of that power is going to determine what is good and what isn't. We've got Almastar. This Pokemon is very similar to Blastoise. Being able to use its effect is super cool, and you can pair it with some fun things, but needing 3 energy to attack, the speed up doesn't help it at all. Greninja. This Pokemon is so good. It's in so many deck lists. Being able to have access to that 20 damage ping sooner and faster, so powerful, and it's really shaping and defining the meta that we are currently in, and probably will continue to do so for a long period of time. Cyrus with this is very powerful. There are just so many things that make this deck really, really good. Now, we've got Electros, same kind of thing with this, just not really benefiting a whole lot. Alakazam, a very similar situation in that you cannot do everything you want to do quick enough with this Pokemon. See, this 3 energy is kind of going to be a trend here in the Whoppers category. This Gengar is actually pretty okay though. Being able to attack, this is really strong. It's not going to win you the game on the spot, but it is a very powerful effect that can get going and annoying the opponent. And with the things being so important and strong, we have Gengar here. This card is also another card that benefits super great from Rare Candy. Weirdly enough, this Pokemon is better and worse than the other Gengar. Having the HP total that it has and being able to pair it up with Dusknoir, which is going to be something that we talk about, makes it very, very powerful. But it's in that weird spot with this other Gengar. This Gengar being able to turn the opponent's supporters off as well when it attacks, that's very good. And then you can be going, we're going to actually move this Gengar up. This one is so powerful. This one, however, is better with certain combinations. Gardevoir is a Pokemon that is yet to be super experimented with. I think it's so good. It's going to be a high beer tier Butterfinger though. It does not do it by itself. It needs something else to pair it up with in order for it to be really solid. But I've been playing a lot with it, and I think there's something here. I just have not cracked the code. Machamp, a Pokemon that is going to benefit not as much. We see it the same way down here. It's a good Pokemon, but it is not going to do anything too crazy. Machamp EX, same thing. I mean, better and worse. You always have that, you know, less damage, but worth less prize points. So that is also an option. Now, Golem is actually okay. And the thing I like about Golem, and we'll see this with other Golem as well, is Golem has the ability to pair itself up with Brock, and so the sooner you get it online, the sooner you can actually be Brocking. So on turn 4, you could potentially Brock an energy. You can get yourself up faster with Rare Candy, so I think it goes in this B tier. It'll be a low B tier, though. We have Kabutops. This Pokemon's really good. It's pairs really well. All the fossils pair really well with Rare Candy because you can, except for Old Amber, because Kabutops can attack for 1 energy and then heal itself back up. Plus Lily, this thing becomes really unkillable, really fast. It's really strong with Cape, but it is not nearly as good as some of the other fossils that we'll see, but by itself, it is really solid. Nidoqueen is a Pokemon that does not benefit very much from it, and neither does Nidoking. There's some theory in that, like, that deck could be quicker and more consistent. You could get rid of a Nidorino in order to have it be more reliable, but if the opponent doesn't, it's just not good. A little bit more consistent than it would have been, but also it is not good in general, so it doesn't get any better. Dragonite is a good Pokemon that benefits from being more consistent, but it has the 4 energy cost, so it's not nearly as good. Its payoff is higher, but it's one of those Pokemon that does not benefit nearly as much except for the consistency of it. You were already going to have time to find it anyway. Pidgeot, a very strong Pokemon who can use its effect. Going second, you can attack with Pidgeot, which is good, and also having access to Drive Off sooner for something else is also very powerful. Serperior, another really cool user of it, but unfortunately doesn't use it well enough itself. This is the same thing as Gardevoir, even though I think Gardevoir is a little bit better. The Serperior, though, able to power up your Pokemon in the same way Gardevoir can, but it relies on something else entirely. We've got Florges. I think this Pokemon is pretty neat. I'm going to put it down here in low B tier. It does not do anything too crazy. 2 energy, 80, and then it heals itself for 20. But being able to attack on turn 4 is nice. And there is potentially something there, though it's not amazing. We have the other golem. I like this golem more than double edge golem, but it benefits in the exact same way. And that Brock is going to be able to combo with it sooner. We have Scolipede. This is actually pretty good if you are pairing it up with Poison Sting or with Graphite Eye. You can attack on turn 4 as opposed to turn 6 with this card. And you can also attack on turn 5, which is really good. And the rare candy helps that more consistent move up on the going second turns, but it does require, you know, some synergy with itself and being able to get a poison sting off and whatnot. But it does allow you to use that poison sting effect sooner. So we're going to put it here below Victory Bell. The payoff's higher, but it's just not as consistent. Pidgeot EX, this Pokemon does not particularly benefit from the fact... Pokemon does not particularly benefit from the fact that it gets to go up faster. It's an EX, it attacks for 3, but it was going to do that on its natural generative turn anyway. So it's going down here in the C tier. Probably worse than that one. We've got Blossom. This Pokemon can attack. Same thing with Scolipede. We're going to put it right next to it. Very similar dynamic here. It does have access to Erica and Lily, which is cute, but most things will end up taking it out. But with Kate, maybe there's something there. It might be worth revisiting on some of the other stuff. Butterfinger and Whoppertier, as you see, will be very powerful. My boy Torterra is absolutely Torterrable. This thing is not good. People want it to be good. They want it to be good so bad. But yeah, Torterra is just not good. It's going to fall off of the cliff the same way some of the other ones are. Now, Infernape here is pretty decent. It can evolve itself sooner, so you can get the attack faster on the turn 5. And on turn 6, it's just a consistency boost. So it's going in that Butterfinger tier. It is pretty solid. We're going next. Mamoswine. This Pokemon is not good either. It has got the exact same problem as Blastoise. Consistency is nice. It's like a little tankier, which is cool, but that 4 energy cost is not good. Empoleon is a very similar dynamic here. Consistency is nice. Magnezone is one of the biggest rare candy losers. Like, it's hard to put it all the way at the bottom, but man, skipping the reason to play this Pokemon is not the way you want to utilize a rare candy. It is the biggest loser, I think, as far as all these other Pokemon. And again, that consistency is nice, but what it actually does with Magneton, and this is a fun way to actually balance rare candy, is you have it where the middle evolution is important. It's an important part of it moving up, and you can see how a Pokemon like Magnezone really loses out by rare candy being so much better. I mean, it's not made worse by the existence of rare candy, but it is definitely not better, except for that tiny consistency boost, but it's almost less consistent because of the fact that we were skipping over Magneton. Luxray is a Pokemon that, again, doesn't benefit. It's better than Magnezone, that is for sure. I almost want to move Magnezone down. The fact that Magneton works the way it does is very bad. But Luxray, being able to get to it faster, you know, is okay. I mean, I'd probably put it in the C tier, right? Like, it's not benefiting in the same way. I mean, it's definitely better than, like, Electros is relative to itself. We have Togekiss. This Pokemon's actually pretty good. And the fact that you can get to it sooner and pair it with Cynthia is actually a place that has not been explored a lot, but I think it is very powerful. I want to say it's actually above the Symphronape here because of the combos that you can do with the other cards. Dusknoir here, oh my goodness, this Pokemon is so cool. Benefits so much from the consistency boost. I almost want to put it here just because this combo is so fun and good. It's not going to be nearly that good, though. It is a very powerful effect, though. It's going to be less than Pidgeot. I think it sits right around here. Rhyperior, oh my goodness, another one of those Pokemon. These four energy big Pokemon that have these giant retreat costs, like they don't get any better with the existence of rare candy aside from the fact that it is like more consistent to find them. Rampardos, this Pokemon's nuts, so powerful. It was already so good. Giving it a consistency tool is so good. I mean, having research plus Skull Fossil on turn 3, you can deal 130 if you have like an X speed combo. Like, it gets out there, it deals damage. It is very, very powerful. It is meta defining. It's very, very good. Gallade EX, very powerful Pokemon also that benefits from rare candy. Consistency on it is very nice. Being able to attack on turn 4 is very nice. Being able to attack on turn 3 does not happen unless you combo it with something else. But this Pokemon is really solid. You can always teleport the Ralts out. Like, this Pokemon is a winner of that. We have Bastiodon. It is better for the existence of it, the same way the other fossils is, but it's definitely one of the worst fossils. I mean, it having its ability makes it where when you do get it online, it's not going to take as much damage, but it's not going to actually speed up itself attacking. This Alakazam is pretty decent. Definitely same line of thought here like as the Infernape. It's more consistent and it can hit harder. I mean, it is not more powerful than the Infernape because it doesn't hit anything crazy, but it is a pretty solid card nonetheless. We've got Garchomp. This Garchomp in particular does not benefit in the same way. Being able to Reckless Shear sooner is nice. I think it's more of a... Yeah, Garchomp's going to go here. I mean, having access to Reckless Shearing sooner is good, but it doesn't actually do anything crazy. I mean, there is the high roll potential that you do draw it sooner. You could potentially, like, in a fighting deck, you could use Misty plus Dawn in order to get it attacking on turn 3, you know, so that could be a cool combo if you open, you know, crazy. But otherwise, it's not going to do anything. Man, Porygon Z is one of those Pokemon that I really want to experiment with and play with, and it's just not going to be very good. It's requiring 3 energy, makes it where being able to speed up its evolution isn't very good. I mean, you do have a lot of control once you get there, but otherwise it's kind of meh. Staraptor is a little better because of the existence of Berry. Being able to clutch on turn 3 or 4, you know, is pretty powerful, but it's not going to be clutching you any wins, that is for sure. We have the Hypnoblast Gengar. This is worse than Imposter Gengar, not better than Gengar EX, so we're going to put it down here. It is similar to the Alakazam, except Hypnoblast could potentially just take the opponent's whole turn away, which is nice. Tyranitar, another one of those beefy behemoth Pokemons that is going to not benefit at all. I'm moving Magnezone down here. This Pokemon's not good. Garchomp EX, very powerful, very good. There's some strong meta stuff around it. With fighting decks, you pair it with Rampardos on some of the fossils. It has a pretty big impact in the meta. Crobat. Oh, this Pokemon is also very strong. I'm going to put it high A tier instead of S tier. It does affect the Arceus deck a lot. It being more consistent is very good, especially paired up with Darkrai. It does not normally win you the game, though. Oh, man, I want to say it's low S tier. This Pokemon is so good. Having to pair it with Arceus, though, makes it not as consistent, so we will leave it in A tier. This Magnezone with Resilient Link is not good at all. These are better because they can be Misty'd. It's going to go right here. I mean, being able to have that tank set up sooner is nice, but there are so many better tanks. Staraptor. This Pokemon is so cool. This Pokemon is so exciting. I guess I have to put it lower than, like, Crobat. Yeah, this is a good spot for it. Staraptor is so fun. I built a deck around it with Meowscarada. I love this card. In the current format, we have Rare Candy, we have Berry. We're attacking for 130. You can attack in a way that is... It's a different one card than comboing it with like X speed on the Rampardos. So it is a little weaker, but almost as powerful as Rampardos, depending on the exact way you're looking at it. And that is such a good place to be. I mean, not being Rampardos, but being really close to Rampardos is very good. Palmot, I think, is a very solid Pokemon with the energy, with the Rare Candy. It having no retreat cost makes it where you can use him as a wall with counterattack in a way that's way better than Poliwrath. I think it itself does not win the game. Beedrill can at least, you know, steal wins on turn 3, so it's going to go right here. It is a very powerful Pokemon, though, that people aren't experimenting with a lot. I've played some with it, and it feels good, but it doesn't have the right partner yet. I think something like Palma or Ikorio type of Coco is what I was playing and had a lot of fun with, pivoting around between those 3 Pokemon, but I think something like Palmot or a Coco Pikachu EX, the 150 damage one, could be really powerful. This Machamp is pretty decent. It's the same philosophy here in that being able to attack with that 2 energy attack is pretty good, and it can ramp up further, which is nice. So you'll get access to Lily sooner to keep it healthy, to keep ramping up its damage. Beedrill EX, very powerful Pokemon. Similar idea to Infernape. I almost want to say regular Beedrill is better with Rare Candy, though. Being able to get to Beedrill faster is very nice, and it is in decks that are like a little more consistent with things like Sprigatito, but does not get online fast enough. But turning the energy off of the opponent, though, is really nice. Meowscarada, this is a very powerful Pokemon with it. I think people have yet to do too much experimentation with it. I love this card. It's so good. It is self-sufficient. Any single deck that can play Grass Energy, but does not have to play a bunch of Grass Energy Pokemon, you can Sprigatito on turn 2, get Meowscarada, and then you are attacking on turn 4. On turn 3, you can just have Meowscarada. Like, I think there's some really good stuff here. It is probably worse, definitely worse than Crobat. Kabutops is here. It's definitely better than these two. I think this is a little bit better of an orientation. Charizard EX, this Pokemon is so powerful. Stoke used to be laughed at. You know, you have to be in the active slot to use it. By the time you get to it, the opponent is setting up, hitting you hard. Nah, it doesn't matter now. On turn 3 or 4, you are automatically stoking. You are getting to full. And the next one, you are attacking for 150. I hope the opponent has an option. We have got Tinkaton EX here. Another one of those 3 energy Pokemon that does not benefit too much. Consistency is nice, and it being tanky as it is nice. Not as good as the Misty ones, but a little better than these other ones here. We have Lunala EX. This is actually one of those incredibly powerful effects, but I think it is actually a C tier rare candy user. It's like the highest whopper that there is, though. It getting online faster doesn't help with the energy manipulation. There's probably a few like niche situations with like Giratina Mewtwo where it is super nice to get it because you can move it over to that Psy Sphere, but you have to have time to get the psychic energy accumulated to make use of its effect in the first place. So it being able to make that accumulation happen isn't as good. It's reliant on a lot of other factors, and as soon as I have to say, well, if this, then, but, all those conditionals make it the king of C tier. And then we have Solgaleo EX, another incredibly powerful Pokemon. You might not be attacking on turn 4, but you could also be attacking on turn 4 with this Pokemon. You pair it with Skarmory or any other 1 energy steel attacker. It sits on the bench. It comes out for free. It just gets to come out for free. It gets to attack. It gets to switch in for free, attack for 120. It's got a massive HP pool, so the 10 damage it does to itself, which is crazy, by the way, that it only deals 10 damage to itself, is nuts. I don't understand how that was the balancing factor they chose to use. I mean, it does make it where it gets one shot by Charizard EX if you don't have Cape on it, so maybe that was it. I'm not really sure, but coming in for free, attacking for 120, being able to attack on turn 4 if you know it's coming or you have a very high likelihood, you just start setting the Cosmog instead. But you also have Skarmory who's attacking for a potential 50, or you're attacking with like Excadrill. There are like so many different little steel combos, but regardless, this thing comes out on itself. It does not worry about your giant retreat cost. You can pair it with Snorlax if you're going, you know, it's a very powerful card that is shaping the meta around it. Definitely better than this. I want to say Rampardos is actually a little better. And next up, we have Decidueye EX. This Pokemon is pretty powerful. It does benefit from Rare Candy because it is a 2 damage attacker. You do need to combo it to be particularly impactful, though, so it definitely goes right around here in this B tier. I think it is a little better than Infernape, who can attack and then get its stuff off. It goes really well with Greninja. Is a particularly powerful combo. Next, we have Serena. This Pokemon is very strong, being able to attack on turn 3 or 4 very quickly, potentially dealing as much damage as Staraptor. I definitely think it is a little better than Kabutops. Biggest problem with Kabutops is while he does heal up and does good, he doesn't deal enough damage, so you have to have like a secondary. Actually, he's going to go back here below the Gengar EX. Next up, we have Talonflame. Serena also benefiting from Mallow being able to heal it back to full. Plus, you have Erica. Leaf Cape came out in this set, so Serena just sits really heftily. Mallow discards all the energy on the Pokemon, but with Serena, it's a 1-cost energy anyway, so you are able to just reapply it that turn. It is very nice. As long as you sequence properly, you can always attack. Very strong user. We've got Talonflame. This Pokemon's very similar to Infernape, except a little less good, a little less, you know, not having a retreat cost, you know, definitely hurts it. It's going to go here. It's not an EX. Speedrill's probably a bit better. Palmot's better. I would definitely put it, yeah, right around here. Talonflame's not played in anything. If it did anything else, it'd be kind of cool. Actually, yeah, I'm definitely putting it below all these guys. Victory Bell's better than it. Yeah, around that Scolipede tier. Not as powerful of a payoff as some of these other Pokemon, and then having these other attacks here Poliwrath there. We've got Conkeldurr. This Pokemon's really cool. Haven't got to play a lot with him, but 3 energy, nothing crazy. He is going to go down here at the bottom of this tier list. Really, he's actually at the top down here of C tier. Behind all the Mistyable things, and yeah, sitting freshly right in this exact same category here. Guts is cool. Being able to get to that to last longer is neat, but it's not the best. Vikavolt, kind of cool. Going second, this Pokemon can do some interesting stuff with stunning the opponent, but 2 energy makes it where you always have to be, waiting till at least that turn 4. Vikavolt, kind of cool Pokemon, can deal bonus damage with Sophocles, 2 energy attack, dealing a 70, which isn't the most powerful, but it has a stun effect that stops the opponent from using items. This includes Rare Candy, but if the opponent is playing any of the better decks and they are ahead, you can't use this until turn 4. So there's not a lot of great situations for Vikavolt. Definitely better than Talonflame. I would say it's better than some of these conditional ones, but the opponent, if they're playing a similar strategy, should already be Rare Candying. So it helps when the opponent is less consistent, but it doesn't do anything crazy after the fact. We have a Alolan Golem. This Pokemon is worse than regular Golem. It doesn't really do anything. Definitely goes down here in the D tier. It has Sophocles to deal some bonus damage, which is okay, but discarding 2. This Pokemon's already not that great, but definitely sits firmly down here with all these other guys. Probably next to, it's an electric, so it can be powered up with Pachirisu, so that's okay. So probably better than these, but not very good in general. Primarina, pretty okay Pokemon. They really kind of did her dirty. She doesn't deal a lot of damage. Her main use is this healing aria song that's going to heal the damage off of some of your Pokemon. So definitely a powerful effect that's nice to get on soon, but a lot of times it doesn't really matter. It's going to sit firmly right here next to our other powerful effects that don't do enough on their own, but potentially support something that is much better. Incineroar EX, this guy is so strong, so good. Its line is very strong on itself. It damages itself, which lets its second attack deal 140 damage. It's got Fire Fang, so it's always dealing at least 50 with the burn unless you're playing against Arceus. This Pokemon is very good. You pair it with Charizard EX for some consistency. It does exactly what you want it to do from a Rare Candy user. It's big, it's bulky, it's not going anywhere. The only thing it doesn't do is it takes a couple turns to get online, whereas Charizard EX can stoke and then be attacking for 150 a little quicker. So I think Charizard is a little stronger than it. We have Kamao. This Pokemon hits hard, but you have to get really lucky, go second. It's kind of similar to Garchomp, but not as good as Garchomp. Definitely low tier down here. I almost want to move. Yeah, Golems are going to the bottom. Kamao is here. I want to build this and play with it more, but fighting electric is not a particularly good combo. And the last Pokemon we have is Toucannon. This Pokemon's really good. 70 damage. I want to put it right around here. It attacks for 1. It's 70 damage. It's pretty strong to get off the rip. Not as impactful as like Staraptor, which does require Berry, but it is a little more continually usable over the course of the game. But yeah, that's the tier list. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that you learned something, and if not, I try to provide any kind of feedback that I can. So yeah, our top 5 here, these are all just very big meta decks. Garchomp's a little lower, but that linear attack is really strong and messes a lot of stuff up. The A tier rocking all these different representative Pokemon. I think Gallade could be a little lower on this list, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I think Gallade might come down here to being better than... I don't think it's actually better than Infernape EX. I think that's a little nicer. Togekiss, really strong. King of Butterfingers, I think. You can play this solo with Rare Candy, and there's some really nice combos. One of the things holding it back is that it's Steel. Skarmory will one-shot Togepi every time, so you have to figure out something else there. But being able to attack for 110 really quick is really powerful with Cynthia combo, and then after that you can attack for 120 or 170 if it stakes around, which it should. 140 HP is pretty beefy, though it also notably gets one shot by Solgaleo EX. So meta-wise, it makes Togekiss not as good, but Rare Candy-wise, this Pokemon is still a powerful purveyor of the Rare Candy. Yeah, and these other Pokemon here, I think Beedrill's actually better than these two. Funnily enough, it is pretty powerful with that Sharp Sting attack. We've got our C tier down here. You could convince me Lunala is a little better than this, but I think it would take a little bit of, very conditional. I could definitely see it being a Butterfinger contender, though. We have our biggest losers down here, this sugar-free candy section, and it is so disappointing. My boy Venusaur, Venusaur has been my man since Generation 1, and he is just having a hard time keeping up in this, I guess he's eating too many veggies as opposed to, everyone else just that candy up. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment which Pokemon you think I am completely wrong about. Some of these I feel pretty confident though, but try to convince me otherwise. Don't forget to subscribe to see more Pokemon related content. I've been Blue. Thanks for watching, and I'll smell you later.